Welcome to Virtual VFR. We're taking off from Port Clinton, Ohio Airport, which is KPCW. And the reason we are here today is I'm going to show you where this fire was. It was on the news, all the major news networks, about this fire at a, what was it called? African Safari Wildlife Park. What it was is one of those parks that you may have seen or heard of, where you drive your car through and you buy your buckets of food and you feed the animals out the window of your car. So yeah, it was really tragic. If you know anything about it, it happened on Thanksgiving Day, so luckily the park was closed, but it did kill, at last count, about 10 rare exotic animals. The biggest ones I can think of are 3 giraffes were killed, and giraffes are just huge animals. So yeah, it's pretty tragic. As of yet, nobody knows how the fire started, but I'm just going to give you an idea where this is in case you've never heard of this. So like I say, we're in Port Clinton, Ohio, which happens to be just right on the western bank of Lake Erie. And it's nestled right in here between Lake Erie over there on the left and Sandusky Bay on the right. And it's called Sandusky Bay because that's Sandusky, Ohio, just off to the right there. You can see it. And right off the nose is Cedar Point, which is probably the thing that Cedar Point, or the thing that Sandusky is most known for. But this whole area, with its history and all this, it's almost kind of a huge tourist trap area. A lot of it's because of Cedar Point, but this whole area, like I say, there's a lot of history, and then plus out there on the lake, you can see the islands. So there's several islands out there on the lake that have different attractions. So this whole thing is kind of a tourist trap zone. Not that it's a trap, it's really a pretty cool place. So what we're flying, in case you're interested, we are flying the Cessna 152, which is a neat little airplane. This particular airplane is what I got my pilot's license on. I soloed on a Cessna 152 that looked just about identical to this. So I'm excited about flying this again. And that peninsula over there, what is that called? That is, I don't know what that's called. Catawba Island. I guess it's not a peninsula, it's an island. But it's not technically attached to the mainland, so it's an island. Of course, there are roads you can drive out there. Well, we're here to look at that wildlife park here. So we're actually turning on a base for runway 27 at Port Clinton. And that's because when you are on the final approach, when you're on the approach to Port Clinton Airport on runway 27, which is the predominant runway we use because the prevailing wind comes out of the west. But if you're on that approach for runway 27, you're going to be flying right over this wildlife park. And I've been there before, and I got a lot of friends who've been there. Matter of fact, I had a good friend of mine had his car destroyed by a buffalo at the wildlife park. The buffalo decided it needed to scratch itself, so it scratched itself all over the side of his car. Just totally ruined it. Bent the whole side of the car and scratched it all up. I'm sure the insurance company thought that was quite amusing, right? So here we are, coming right in over this wildlife park. You can see the end of the runway, so this park is right here. So let me move over here to the right. and slow down here so we can get a good look here, and I can show you what we're talking about here. I don't know how many animals they have here. They've got quite a few, but it really is. It's a neat thing to see all the animals, things you wouldn't expect to be just roaming around in northern Ohio like this. But there are several giraffes. Like I say, unfortunately, 3 of the giraffes were killed in the fire. And the fire is in that bigger building right there about in the center. That's where the main barn was, and that was completely destroyed and killed about 10 exotic animals. So that was quite the tragedy for this area. But I'm sure they'll be back up in business. I hope anyway, because it was a neat little area. So you can see the roads are kind of meander through the park, and they're divided off by, I guess, the types of animals, or maybe the habitat they're trying to recreate. I don't know. But it's just neat to see that, like I say, some out here in the northern Ohio where it gets quite cold sometimes, seeing like this little chunk of Africa. So I always thought that was really neat. And the kids had a great time when we brought him here. We've only been here once, but like I say, I hope they don't have any problems, and hope they're able to stay open. So yeah, if you're ever flying to Port Clinton, take a look down when you're on the final approach, runway 27, because you just might be seeing some giraffe or zebra, and I don't know what all's in there, but it's crazy. So here we are on approach to 27 at Port Clinton, and there goes our wildlife safari. Let's bring in our flaps here. All of our flaps to get slowed down because we're really high and fast. I'm going to slip this in to lose some airspeed. That's Walmart, I think, right there. Yeah, but this whole area is a really neat place to visit, with Cedar Point, the wildlife safari, all the islands. There's a lot of things to do here, and you can spend easily a week here and still not see everything there is to see and do. All right, here we are back at Port Clinton. So I hope this was informative to you, and I hope you enjoyed the ride. So yes, it was a tragedy. But if you are wondering about it, now you know where this is, hopefully. So I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching Virtual VFR. Take care.